cakep ya bro. Wah, kayak transformer tapi belakangnya base. Halo, ketemu lagi dengan saya dari Kesian di KIOS KOMPUTER Channel. Sekarang sesi 2, kemarin itu sudah saya jelaskan tentang produk Snapdragon X2 yang terbaru. Sekarang kita akan mengunjungi kampusnya, kampus Qualcomm. Oke, sekarang sudah di labnya Snapdragon ya Pak?
Yes.
Labnya Snapdragon di kampusnya Snapdragon. Kita akan masuk ke dalam untuk melihat masa proses pembuatan prosesor.
Bukan.
Apa Pak?
Barangnya.
Oh, melihat barang-barangnya bro. Oke, kita ke sana. Disuruh pakai baju ini bro, Snapdragon, tapi ada namanya di sini. Nah, jadi nanti putih-putih kayak gini nih, kayak dokter. Ini dokter Prodi. Ngantuk. Oke, ini gedungnya Qualcomm bro. Nah itu. Kampusnya Qualcomm. Kampus ya bro ya?
Cuma nggak tahu kampus apa.
Kampus apa ya ini ya?
Kampus C.
Kampus C ya. Jadi kalau kamu mau sekolah di sini aja bro. Soalnya namanya kampus Qualcomm. Jurusan IT per NPU-an. Nah ini nih. Di sini banyak Tesla bro. Mungkin murah-murah di sini ya. Keren ya. Jadi di sini tuh gedung sastra, di sini bahasa, di sini seni, di situ ekonomi kayak gitu bro. Building Qualcomm. Nih mau masukin ke lab-labnya bro. Snapdragon Game Studio. Oh, kayak gini bro. Oh, ini kayak nuansa luar negeri ya. Luar planet. Oh, ini ada Star Trek. Ini. Oh, cakep bro. Wah, dingdong. Ada laptop.
Creator laptop with gaming.
Nah, ini pakai Snapdragon. Semuanya ini pakai Snapdragon bro. Nah ini Snapdragon Game Studio. Ini arcade game. Nah ini Legend Pinball. Nah ini jadi pakai ini bro. Apa namanya laptop? Keluarnya di atas ini. Nah ini. Nah itu bro. Ada pesawat di atas. Nah ini ada temenmu bro ini bro. Ini temenmu ini bro. Nah. Ini alien. Oh. Sekarang game sudah kompatibel sama prosesor Snapdragon ya di Windows ARM. Ini semuanya pakai Snapdragon X2 Elite yang ekstrim. Nah, ada game ini. Nah, ini terus yang dimainkan sama Om Deddy ini Wukong. Tapi gara-gara pakai open source dari AMD FSR, dia bisa jalan dari 50 itu naik sampai ke 70 kalau FSR-nya dinyalakan. Ini smooth banget loh bro. Nah ini pakai FSR 3 karena AMD ini kan open source. Ini settingannya ke high bro ya. Ini high. Medium. FSR 3
just so that you get the best super scaling. Reference unit.
Nah ini naik jadi 60 fps. Nah kalau ini game Fortnite bisa dapat di berapa ini? 90 fps bro. Terus kalau ini reset ya ini ya. Nah ini bisa dapat di 60 fps. No worry ya. Terus sekarang sudah support sama ZBrush. Jadi ZBrush itu aplikasi khusus 3D editing. Jadi dia ini bisa ngebras namanya, jangan ngasih brush ya. Jadi kayak misalkan kulit, rambut, ini secara real time ya. Ini software berat ini sekelas software Maya 3D Max ya kayak gitu. Itu software perfilman pakai ini bro, dan sekarang sudah support. Terus kalau yang ini Cinema 4D, ini sama aja kayak Blender, Maya 3D Max juga sudah support. Tapi dari tadi aku mikir ini loh bro, ternyata dalamnya laptop ya loh, kayak gini. Terus dijadikan mesin arcade. Ini lumayan buat cari cuan ini bro. Kamu buka stand di mall gitu ya, dipasang-pasang harga berapa ya, 1.000 per main atau gimana, lumayan bro. Seperti EP ini. Paling modalnya sama laptopnya estimasi di berapa ya, 25 juta lah, murah termasuk ini. Nah ini bro, muka-muka orang serius bro, dari beberapa negara bro. Waduh, benar-benar mikir semuanya ini. Oke, sekarang ke tempat lain bro. Ini liftnya sampai dikasih gambar-gambar game nih. Kita ke tempat lain. Oke, sekarang kita memasuki ruangan apa ini ya? Buset, ini ruangan testernya semua bro. Oh, pintunya kebuka. Ngeri bro. Nah ini dijelasin kalau Snapdragon itu sudah masuk ke teknologi kamera. Itu bro, kelihatan bro.
Hey guys, welcome. My name is Janice. I'm here with Murugi-san and Natesh. So we're gonna be showing you the camera on Snapdragon X Elite, right? So you can see that, like, of course, like, in PC, like, PC wall has been like adapted to the USB camera for such a long time. So USB camera is everywhere, right? But when Qualcomm started making the PC, we have a very good ISP on mobile devices. What we did is we took the ISP that we ship on the mobile, we brought it to the PC, so we can get a very high quality camera on the PC. So the DSO mark is one of the benchmarks to measure the image quality, and then we do Qualcomm Spectra ISP on the PC. We have the best DSO mark on the PC camera. Raw data through the CSI interface. We support both C5 and D5 interface. We capture the Bayer processing, and then we do all the Bayer processing pipeline. After the end of the Bayer processing, we do the demosaic, convert from the Bayer to the RGB, and then do the RGB processing. To the final step, we go from RGB to the YUV processing with the color conversion. One of the advantages of the Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite is like a software architecture allow the OEM to add their own additional tuning on each ISP block. High dynamic range and low light area, right? So for high dynamic range, it is a very challenging because the scene has a both very bright and very dark area. So the problem with the camera is if you have a low exposure, the shadows are too dark because we don't capture enough light to the camera, but the bright regions are fine. But if you capture too much light, then the shadows are okay. The dark areas are okay, details are there. The bright area are oversaturated. So what we do is we run the camera at the 60 FPS and then alternating between the short and long exposure. Short exposure, long exposure, short exposure, long exposure. You have an IR LED next to the privacy LED. It is turning on and off every other frames. And then from there, we capture the lit frame and dark frame and do the frame subtraction to make sure that it is the user sitting in front of the device, not the picture of the user, right? So we want to make sure that so go to the IQ capture tools.
So this is the X2 lead display showcase.
So in here, you can see the RGB camera is here. You can see the RGB camera is here. The IR camera illuminated frame, IR camera dark frame. This is the subtractive frame between illuminated and dark frame. So these two images are sent to the Windows Hello to authenticate, securely authenticate to the user.
We have 3 demos. My first demo is about dual 8K video playback. So this is the setup for that. I have this X2 Elite platform. which is connected through USB Type-C to HDMI to two monitors. And these are the specification of the two clips, which are HEVC 8K UHD clip. I'm playing for the 10-bit. So this is one clip, this is the second clip. And comparing to previous version, in X2 Elite, we have double the video capability. So now we have two video cores. And you can see here in the task manager, these are enumerated as two engines. And both engines are getting utilized. And like one is running this clip and other is running the second clip. On the previous chipset, we were limited to 4K. And we created a custom build to show you a comparison to enable 8K on the previous chipset. And you can see that the same use case is the video is going to be stuttering because it just have one engine and it's too much low to handle 8K content. But here you can see it can very easily handle the dual 8K use case.
Oh, bisa handle 2 8K dengan smooth. Ini.
My next video is on advanced professional video, a new video codec that we are investing into. And the main reason we are investing is to compete with Apple ProRes. Comparing to Apple ProRes, APV is going to take 10% less video size for the same quality, which means you can record more videos. This codec is already supported in our phones, the Snapdragon phones. And we are now adding that support or this video editing support using this codec working with different ISVs. So this is showing the different players which are adopting APV codec, and in the demo that we are showing is going to show a transcode of a 4K to 1080p. This codec is open APV backed, which means there is no royalty, and we are seeing lot of traction with different ecosystem partners.
4K clip, which will go to transcode it to 1080p. And then I'm going to go to editing options where it has multiple editing options, and I'm going to choose here target resolution as 1080p because we are interested in transcoding 1080p, and then I'll add it to the rendering queue. Now I can go and do render all. Here behind the scene, what it does is it will decode the original 4K content and then re-encodes by downscaling it to 1080p.
Jadi kesimpulannya itu kalau kamu pakai kodek APV dari 4K ke 1080p itu rata-rata kan kehilangan kualitas bro. Tapi dengan kodek dari QUALCOMM ini kualitasnya tetap terjaga. Nah kayak gitu loh bro.
Hi folks, we are from the CPU team. We are going to do a live demo of power performance efficiency of our latest generation. With that, I'll hand it over to my colleague Shreya to explain to them.
Geekbench 6.4 and we are running it on Linux, and this is with SME enabled, and we are going to demo the power and performance efficiency on Prime 4 running at 5 GHz frequency, and we are running here single core Prime. So this is our setup here. This is our load board, and this is connected to the TCU, which is the temperature control unit, and this is our hardware DAC, which is measuring power. So our whole setup is here, but we are projecting over here. So once we start the Geekbench run, it's going to go through 16 subtests. So across different subtests, you're going to see different changes in the temperature. So this is our visualizer GUI. This is the frequency showing 5 GHz. It's maintaining that 5 GHz frequency. This is our voltages. So this is showing logic rail and memory rail. So our logic rail is set to 1.1 and our memory rail is set to 1.06. And this is the temperature sensors across the whole CPU. And you can see the temperature varies based on what workload you're running. So it's gonna go high or down based on the workload. So it's gonna finish all the 16 subtests, and at the end it's gonna print out the performance score of our current CPU.
So, starting things out with the differences between our previous generation, the X Elite, and our current generation, X2 Elite, we have a change with how many monitors that we support. So we have increased that from 3 external to 4 external displays. as well as we now support 3 external with 1 internal display shown in the setup here. Now there's a couple different ways of setting up this topology. The simplest is plugging in the Type-C port into the back of the monitor with a HDMI or DP. And you can do this for all the ports, however many monitors that you may have, as well as running this through a dock. So whether that's a DP MST dock or a USB 4 or Thunderbolt dock, which is what we have going on here. So we have 1 HDMI to 1 monitor, and then through the dock we are powering 2 different displays. Another increase that we have done here is with our resolution. We have increased our resolution from 4K 90 Hz to 4K at 144 Hz refresh rate, as well as support for 5K at 60 Hz. So these 3 monitors right now are currently running 4K at 144 Hz. And everything is still running very smooth and as expected.
Ini ngetesin apa ya nggak ngerti, ini alat apa ya nggak ngerti ini. Udah alatnya pabrik-pabrik ini bro. Tuh alat tesnya. Ini kalau yang ada yang tahu komen ya bro. Saya spillkan terus ya. Nah ini demo in progress, do not disturb. Nah kesini bro. Kita kesini. Ini alat apa aja ini? Ini lagi demo apa? Power test progress. Please don't touch. Thank you. Oh, testing in progress. Gak boleh megang, gak boleh macet bro. Waduh, gini nggak paham saya bro. Ini tempatnya orang-orang stres semua bro. Nggak tahu alat apa. Nah ini kelihatan orang stres ini. Mikirin tulisannya sampai kayak gini bro. Kasihan ya. Tapi dari orang-orang kayak gini bro, menghasilkan prosesor yang jami soro.
Hey folks, welcome to Qualcomm. My name is Aditya Susarla. I'm the engineering lead for Snapdragon Guardian Technology.
Ini menjelaskan tentang Snapdragon Guardian Technology.
Snapdragon Guardian Technology is Qualcomm's out-of-band management solution that allows users and remote administrators to securely manage their devices even when the device is turned off or the device doesn't boot to the OS. To that extent, we have integrated what we call an out-of-band management subsystem right into the Snapdragon X2 Elite chipset. The out-of-band management subsystem has seamless connectivity through our 4G modem as well as the leading 5G modems, as also the Wi-Fi over Wi-Fi and LAN. We do support a very comprehensive set of features, including security use cases like being able to remotely locate a device. For example, your device is lost, you want to know where the device is located. We also support use cases like being able to lock and unlock the device. Your device is lost, you want to lock the device so that you don't lose any of your secure data, it doesn't get into the wrong hands. We support use cases like wipe as well as remote re-imaging if your OS is busted. In addition, we support other manageability scenarios like changing the BIOS variables, getting alerts out of the system, getting diagnostic messages, being able to remotely lock and turn on and off the device.
To show you the use case where regional restrictions for enterprise apps. So here I have a predefined geofence, which is outside, all the devices are outside the predefined geofence, and this is the device I'm going to demo it on. So there is one application which I'm going to run on that device. So since the device is outside the geofence, it's saying access restricted. Now I'm going to change the geofence where the devices will be within that predefined geofence. So now you will see all the devices are within that predefined geofence, and all those turn green. And now I'm going to launch the application, and it should allow you to launch the application. So it should not give you the access restriction.
And the use case could be such as that you have lost your device somewhere and you would want to know where the location of this device is, and with the find device option you will be able to tell where the location is, as well as they will translate that into an address. From there you can, if you want to know further about how the device is being tracked, you can kind of see the location that has been traveling across on various different addresses. You can track it it's updating every 2 minutes. After that, let's say you would like to understand there's a geofence option to see if certain apps would only work within the geofence, and this is the geofence is shown and the device is outside, so certain apps would not work, and that's a demo that Swapna will do later. But you can also kind of see that it's coming in and out of the geofence because it's getting updated when each time Swapna makes a change.
I like to talk about battery life testing. This is a way to determine the real world battery life of commercial devices. We here chose Procyon Battery Life from UL Benchmark Solutions as the tool to determine the battery life. This is great because it also helps us to do competitive analysis so we can stay ahead of the competition since it's a multi-platform benchmark. So the methodology for doing battery life testing is pretty straightforward. We charge the device 100% battery, and then we have a choice of idle, video playback, or office productivity tests that we can trigger after we set some test procedures. And then we just wait for the test to finish, which is basically when the battery dies. And then we reboot the device and we know, okay, how many hours, right? That's the battery life.
Prefed that document in my anything LLM application, and I'm gonna ask it a question like what is prompt flow, which is the information which you can see here. I'm just gonna highlight this as well. So when I hit enter on my mobile, you can see the NPU spike on my computer and also the result being fed on my mobile device. You can see the citations, how much score it is giving for the document, and maybe you can ask it more complex things like what are the data platforms for AI, which is like summarizing some part of the document, which is a lot of information here. And I'm doing that, and you can again see the citations. You can see the NPU utilization here. Also on your device, when you don't have your mobile, you can later refresh your anything LLM application and see the sync data which was there on my mobile.
For example, you're at the airport launch and you're trying to take a call, or you're working in an open office space or in the cubicle environment where you're trying to take a call, but your colleagues or other people, they may be having a discussion or talking on the phone also. They can be very loud and they can be easily heard the other side, which makes the communication very difficult. To demonstrate this, my colleagues Sabina and Leon, they'll start having conversation right behind me, but you should not be able to hear any of their voice. So right now they are starting having the discussion right behind me, but you should not hear any of their voices at all. So to show how noisy it is here, I'm going to disable this feature now. So right now it is disabled, and you should be able to hear their voice along with my voice. It makes communication very difficult in this kind of setup. So I'm going to enable this feature now, and you should be able to hear my voice clearly and should not hear any of the background talkers here. And next, I'm going to switch the profile to Sabina so that you can hear only her voice and not hear any of my speech or Dion's. I'm going to have a conversation with Dion and switch the profile to Sabina.
Naveen, I think it did not switch. Can you switch again?
Okay, now it's on my profile. You should only be able to hear my voice, but not Dion or Naveen's voice while they are having some conversation at the same time. So, and then now let's try with like Dion's.
Okay, so my profile is now selected. So you should only hear my voice while Naveen and Sabrina are having a conversation. Naveen is kind of talking in between me and the laptop, but it still knows that I'm the enrolled user. So let's go ahead and hand it back to Naveen to finish up.
Ini bro ya, saya jelasin gedungnya Qualcomm ya. Ini saya di gedung sini. Ini masih ada ini ya. Itu kamu bisa lihat sana, itu Qualcomm itu bro. Tuh, loh Qualcomm. Nah ini Qualcomm. Yang sebelah sana Qualcomm. Jadi ini kayaknya satu kota dikuasai gedungnya Qualcomm. Oke bro, seperti itu kunjungan ke kampus Qualcomm. Tapi sebenarnya itu ditunjukkan ke hal-hal yang baru-baru aja. Sebenarnya kalau mau benar-benar visiting di sini bro, mungkin seminggu nggak kelar ya, karena gedung itu gede banget. Oh, sampai sana, waduh terlalu banyak lah. Jadi ditunjukkan yang penting-penting, jadi biar teman-teman ini paham bahwa Qualcomm itu ternyata nggak cuma sekedar CPU yang kalau dilepas sama ditancapkan baterai tetap ngacir, bukan bro. Ternyata banyak banget, dari kamera, dari display. Gimana, Rod? Tentang Qualcomm.
Kok di sini guys langsung. Tadi sakit perut ya, kebetulan ya.
Terus?
Pastinya mantap, tidak ada duanya.
Jadi kita tinggal tunggu launchingnya aja bro ya. Snapdragon X2 Elite yang ekstrim. Wah ini bener-bener
yang dari biasa.
Ngeri, 5 GHz bro. Kita tinggal tunggu. Oke seperti itu bro ya. Besok saya akan upload lagi tentang Qualcomm Snapdragon, tapi bukan yang model gini bro. Ini lebih ciamik soro. Ditunggu part yang ketiga.